Okay. I can see us live on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I can see us live on YouTube.
That's feedback to the computer, right?
Yeah, side and computer.
Okay, your computer on the YouTube, right?
Yes, on the computer I'm on YouTube.
Okay. So talk to me. How was your event yesterday?
It was awesome. It was really, really beautiful. Like I couldn't have missed that thing, man. I couldn't have.
Were you still able to follow our chats yesterday?
Oh yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. Hey,
Visionary.
all right.
Um,
So I'm just gonna send out the last. We are live. Yeah.
okay, okay. MYE, charting your course. All right, guys, welcome. We have Ariel Serial. Oh, your name rhymes. Ariel Serial. Must be nice. If you were a rapper, it would have been so cool. Ariel Serial. We have Joanne. Joanne, how you guys doing? Welcome. You guys are the early birds. If this was a, I probably would have given you guys books because I always like to give those guys who show up early. How are you, Joanne? Were you trying to say something?
No, I wasn't. Thank you.
How are you doing today? Ariel. Ariel Serial. Am I pronouncing the name right?
Yeah, it's Ariel cereal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Serial. Have you
Yeah.
ever? I mean, imagine how cool it is. Your name already rhymes.
Yeah, it does, right? Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
All right. I'm all right. I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Where are you now?
Sir?
You're not here.
Okay, last night?
Yes, that's not. We had the first bit of it yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I joined along the line. I was streaming from Facebook last night.
I hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah. It was amazing. I enjoyed how it went.
Right, right, right. All right. Welcome. We'll give a bit so that we can start. We'll be up in a few minutes. Maya Rhythm.
Okay.
Your name is Rhythm. Are you there? Maya Rhythm. I like it.
Thank you. Good evening.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
All right, I'm all right. I'd like to hear you call your name. Perhaps I'm not saying it right. Is it Rhythm?
It's Maya Rhythm.
Maya Rhythm.
Yes.
Sounds like one name. Is that the name you were given, or is the name you gave yourself?
It's a name I picked up when I was into entertainment.
Or when you were into entertainment? You're not into entertainment anymore?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. What kind of entertainment were you into?
I and my friend, we co-owned an entertainment body where people could work for event dancers and entertainers.
Okay. So you had entertainers and dancers who would dance to the rhythm.
Yes, and then vixens for videos, and then recording of songs. Just a full-blown entertainment body, an entertainment house.
Interesting. Why did you let it go at some point?
We started it fresh out of secondary school, and then everybody went into school, everybody got busy, and there was no follow-up after a few shows, everybody just let it go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is it something you think you may go back to sometime again?
Nah, I don't think so.
You like the name you picked up with it, right? So I mean, every time.
The name stuck. It stuck after all the years because a lot of people already knew me as Maya. I already opened, some people are used to routines. I like routines. I already opened handles and other things using the name. So I just let it be. That the entertainment venture didn't work out doesn't mean that, I can't be the person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. And just so we're clear, it did not work out. You just didn't want to push it further. Because from what I hear, you enjoyed it. You did a few gigs, and usually when you start off something, especially when you're young, it takes a bit to break into the industry. So it did not work out. You just decided you didn't want to push it further. Well done. Well done. Well done. I like the name. Well done. Kevin Victor, country builder. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Job. How are you?
All right. I'm all right. Happy Sunday. How's your day?
It's going pretty well. I'm sat. I'm plastered here. So yeah.
That's a way to put it. I like bastard here. All right. Well,
Thank you.
Today I'm as excited as you are as well.
oh,
Really, really excited. But I
You
don't
know,
know,
you
maybe
know,
because I have some level of personal relationship with our speakers,
why?
but I really, really, oh my God, I'm going to try to just maintain my stills and composure when they speak. But yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
we're going to start in a bit. I see more people. Maru, how are you doing today?
Hi, good evening.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. You seem calm. That's nice. What have you been reading? Anything today?
Yes, I had Thanksgiving church today, so I'm very tired.
Okay. Hold on. So growing up, I always assumed Sunday was church then sleep, and it made sense to me because the sun was always very intense on Sunday. So the name
Yes,
also days.
actually, I woke up, but then since today was like annual Thanksgiving, I've danced like I've never danced throughout this year. And
Abby,
I've
you
not
made me younger for my
recovered.
life.
Said I was saying yesterday, and you were in church dancing. David danced. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm fine.
Well done, well done. So we'll start in a bit, but just after we hear from Langdon. Mr. Langs, how you
Not far.
Langdon? I see you. I see you see me that I see you while you're seeing me that I am seeing you. How are you? Okay, Langdon is not able to speak now, but I'm sure that he will catch up to it.
Hello, man. Good evening.
Hey, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Lex, you need to sit in your office and show us your face.
Yes, please.
I can't see your face. Why would I show you my face?
You will see my face.
Okay, when I see your face, you see my face, me too.
See my
This
face.
man,
See my
this man,
face.
this guy. Why you guys setting me up?
We're setting you up. Show your face. Show
Why
your
you guys,
face.
why you guys setting me up for goodness sake? Come.
Thanks. How you doing now?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing? All right, let me try to.
Legs, you don't have lights. What's going on?
I don't have light, bro. I don't have light, bro.
What kind of jacket are you wearing that looks like is that a jacket or a pillow?
It's not.
Brace?
Yeah, it's a neck pillow.
Oh man.
You know
Nigeria is
that
happening to all my friends. Sorry, Ko. I have you people in mind. You know,
you have
I'm praying for you people.
Me like joining your call too.
Naila! So Naila is ready to chat our course, but other people, young people are not. Oh my.
All right.
All right, Job, we can just begin. I have confirmed that our speakers are ready. And yeah, we'll just get at it. I can see people watching us from YouTube right now. And I'm sure we can always jump back to the replay afterwards.
Okay, I'll need you to send
Yes,
that.
we can also share the link with everybody. If you're watching us, please share the link with everybody. They need to know that we're serious with ourselves. Well, no. What did Buhari call us that year?
What did you say? Lazy youth?
Lazy youth. Yes, we're not lazy youth. We're people who are intentional about building.
Right? Lazy is not a totally bad thing. There are institutions who would pick a lazy person to join their team because he or she would always find an easier way to get things done.
Actually, thank you. We're here.
Baro, are you saying that you've been finding the easiest way to do something?
Every time I think of the easiest way, I swear, I don't get powerful talk.
Interesting.
Easy does it.
Easy does it. So yesterday, we'll just do a very short recap. Yesterday, we had chill and chat. We're supposed to do a lot of chilling. And to me, we did a lot of chilling because that's my day of chilling. Listening to people talk about what they've been up to, chatting their course. I had very good laughs yesterday. And I got to learn a lot of things. You know, I had this theory about tech in my head and I was just moving around with the wrong information. And our dearest country builder explained to me the logic. And I'm like, and it was so easy. It was something I just didn't think about it. But yeah, we had quite a bit. So I'll see those who were here yesterday. You just tell us a few things from yesterday's conversation that you picked up. Don't worry, just 1 minute. You don't have to say so much. And I see Katnaret. Katnaret is here. Okay, Lisa, I'm guessing we're going to hear from them. So I'll start with Kelechi. I remember you were here for the most of it yesterday. In fact, you spoke to us for a bit. So how did it go yesterday? How did it go yesterday? Did you pick up anything new? Anything you want to share with us? Just shoot. 1 minute.
Okay, I had a good time yesterday understanding why my being spontaneity was not working for me. Around the things I wanted to do and how being conscious about the things I wanted to do was going to help me. And I think what I would take out lastly was that unconscious is not unconscious. Unconscious is actually conscious. That is not conscious. How did you even put it? But then that's like what I picked out of it. That it is unconscious does not mean that it's just there and it's just happening and you call it fate and all of that. So yeah, that really like cemented some things in my head. I appreciate you, John.
Welcome. You're welcome, my man. So yes, we talked about when people say they're spontaneous, and most times we think that they just do things as it comes up, but nothing just happens. So just because you don't understand the logic behind something doesn't mean that it just happened. Your unconscious mind is 95%, your conscious mind is 5%. So what this means is most of the things you do is based off of the language, the memories, the decisions you've made before, your beliefs, your values. That's how you react to things. That's how you see things. It's like wearing glasses, and through those eyes, that's how you see the world. So what you think is reflex is, well, yeah, your whatever is reflex, but they're thinking that happened. Give an example, driving a car. You think that every time you get into a car, because you already know how to drive it, you just go. No, there's still communication with your brain. The neural pathway is just quicker because it's a road that has been, walked on a long time. It's like a piece of land when there's grass and you walk the first time. The grass will still be there. You walk the second time, it will still be there. The third, fourth time, after a while, it establishes a pathway. So it's easy for you to get from point A to point B now. So every time you get into a car, you get your unconscious mind, it says, what do I do next? Put in the key. What do I do next? What do I do? I've gotten to a turn. So it happens all the time. Because you don't think you're thinking, you think it's just, I don't master around. But that's not really what happens. But yeah, I'm glad that you picked that up. So let's see, who else was here? Maro, you were here yesterday. So I think you were the last person who spoke. So talk to us. What did you, just 1 minute. Our first speaker is already here. So quickly,
All
1 minute.
right. First of all, I think I learned some same thing as Kirichi, but I was already using the word random in my head. So random is not really random, yeah. Random still happens with some form of coordination, just that we don't understand the logic behind it. And then I also learned that in becoming, there's truly no destination. So we should be happy with the changes that occur every day in our lives, because that is actually the becoming of us. Every change that occurs to us every day is our becoming. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. The destination is in the journey. Destination is in the journey. Because you know why they say money is never enough? It's because it's very literal. Once you want 1 million, you get 1 million. Next thing you're going to want another million. Then you want 10. Then you want 20. So it's the same thing with becoming of self. Today you're so sure that this is all you want, but you get there and you're like, there has to be more. There has to be more. No. And one of the stories we thought was just a joke when we were kids was the story of Oliver Twist, right? Was always asking for more, but perhaps this will help put in perspective that there's always more. So the journey is the destination. Like that, journey is the destination. So yes, once again, welcome every single one of you. I see that our first speaker is here, and I hope that you all have braced yourselves. Oh, there's someone's name that is T. I love tea so much. T, can you say hi to us? Let's know. Are you going to bring tea to us today? Because I want to drink tea. It's not time to make tea. Okay, our first speaker is on the call, Dr. Sam Ikundayo. Dr. Sam Ikundayo is based in Auckland, in New Zealand. He's a distinguished senior lecturer, transformational speaker, author, life coach, and consultant. He's often acclaimed as the purpose preacher for his profound dedication to guiding individuals in discovering their purpose and maximizing their potential, leading them towards a fulfilled and influential life. Throughout his professional journey, Dr. Kundayo has emerged as an internationally recognized consultant. He has consulted for major corporate organizations, delivered empowering messages at churches, and headlined numerous conferences and events worldwide, like TEDx Talk, which he delivered in 2019, Ultimate Cure to Suicide. His insights have also been featured on the Harvard Business School blog, further cementing his role as a thought leader in personal development and leadership. In addition to his speaking and coaching work, Dr. Sam is the founder of the School of Purpose and Influence, SPIN, a platform dedicated to nurturing individuals to become leaders and influencers in their fields. Through Spin, he equips participants with the tools to create transformational influence and lead purposeful lives. His message of purpose continues to empower individuals to lead lives of significance and influence. So I would like for you, even though your mics are off, to make a warm welcome to Dr. Samuel Ikundayo as he takes us our first keynote for another 35 minutes. So welcome, sir. Are you on the call?
Muted myself earlier. And hi, John. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate the introduction.
Daddy, please,
And
they should add that you are my mentor so that the profile can be complete, please.
I was going to get to that, Feisha. I was going to get to that. I really want to. I've been hearing some things over the last few minutes that I joined, and I am so pleased. I mean, these are deep stuff, and Feisha, I mean, thank you. You know, I love you very much, and I am so proud of you.
Thank you, Daddy.
MYE, this is just the beginning. MYE is going to go global. MYE would attract millions to gather the sound of your voice. So do not despise these days, you know, of humble beginning. Great things are yet to come. Great things will happen through you. And I really want to commend everyone who's volunteering for this, who's been a part of this, supporting Feisha, I mean, every single way. I pray that God as well would help your vision and perfect all that concerns you. And those of you who are attending this, listen, you are a part of something meaningful. You are a part of something great. And I want you to, you know, to believe, don't take it for granted at all. Believe that you are a part of something really awesome, and make sure that you are plugged in. We have just a few minutes to learn what I'm about to teach. I've been asked to speak on leveraging or harnessing your individuality for personal transformation, on the overall topic of leading, the way to global transformation. So I want to talk about you. In essence, that's just what that means. I want to talk about you. How can you be that person that leads him or herself first, before you are then, are able to lead on a global scale? And if I'm allowed to just read one scripture, and then I'll tell you a story, and then we'll go into some of my notes. All right. This scripture that many of you are very familiar with, but I promise you, even if you're not a person of faith, just follow me. All right. Is Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and that will be the only scripture I'll try to read today, from the Message translation. Listen to this scripture. It says, "So here is what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, you're sleeping, you're eating, you're going to work and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Yeah. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what he wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you. Oh my God. It's as if you are that that scripture is as if you are talking to a mentor. I feel like reading it again. So permit me, and I'm just going to read it again. It's the Message translation of Romans 12, verse 1 to 2. It says, "So here is what I want you to do." It's like, like a direct counsel, God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life. You're sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him. Stop comparing your life with somebody trying to want to be. That's just, you embrace what God does for you. It says, then don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. You see, this line, this statement that I just made is a whole masterclass on its own. See, so many young people today, you just fit into culture, just allow culture to be molding you without even thinking. You are the ones that, without even thinking, you're already using the language of culture. You are dressing, the way, culture and trend is. Your life is way more than that. Let me continue. Instead, fix your attention on God. It says you'll be changed from the inside out. The greatest change that can ever happen to you is the one that happens from inside out. Why? Because it happens from your core. And whenever change begins from your core, you don't need to stress it. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to form. When it is from your core, it is sustainable. When it is from your core, it leads to authenticity. When it is from your core, you are able to influence on a global scale without even trying, because it is from your core. You see all this change that we try to do so that people can know that we are changing, so that people can know that, that's external change. No. That's not sustainable. So let me continue. It says, readily recognize what he wants from you. And that's the part I want to talk about today. How do you recognize what you should be doing with your life? And quickly respond to it. See, you will not be young forever. That's the truth. Ask me that, tell me that. I'll be turning 40 next year. In fact, I'm still shook because in my mind, I'm like 18. Sincerely, all of a sudden I realized that, ever since I turned 30, when I eat, if I drink ordinary water, I've gained 2 kg, all this change just happens so fast. So you must respond to life so quickly. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to his level of immaturity. I'm continuing that last part of it. Culture drags you down to his level of immaturity. Have you noticed? Culture is never sustainable. It's always evolving and moving. So if you're moving with culture, you may never truly live at your core. You may never truly live at the level of your authenticity. Before you let culture change you, let God change you first. God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you. So let's talk about, how do you recognize what God wants? See, when I was 14, I made a decision that changed my life. And it was the fact that I decided, this is what I want out of life. Of course, was that what God wants for me? Probably not. But there was a way that decision, that big dream, as you would call it, because that was when I conceived in my heart that I was going to be a professor, right? That dream just sort of focused my life. Somebody say focus. Let me type the word focus. Just let me type the word focus. See, if there's one truth that will change your life forever, it is focus. You can never become anything until you are focused. Did you hear what I just said? You can never become anything until you are focused, until you learn the art of focusing. That's when everything you try to do, in terms of, your success, your journey in life would begin to make sense, because you are able to focus your attention. You're able to focus your journey. You're able to focus your efforts. So it is extremely important. Somebody help us mute that person. So it's extremely important.
Why is all of them born sponge or soft soap?
Okay, Fisher, there's a way you can mute everyone, right? And disallow people from unmuting themselves. So you disallow people from muting themselves, and only the people you're muted. So that way it helps. Okay, so I was talking about focus. So what are some of those things we should focus on? See, when I made that decision to become a professor, it wasn't like I got any necessary clarity from God as to who I was becoming, but He just focused my life. And at the age of 16, before that, I used to be very stubborn. I mean, if you can relate to being stubborn, like my coconut head was, head was very, my parents were always, shouting at me, always trying to, fix me and all of that. And I remember at the age of 16, 2 years after that, this initial decision, I also made a decision that I was going to stop frustrating my parents. I don't know what age you made that decision and whether if you have ever made that decision. So I made that decision. And the reason I'm sharing these things with you, I'm telling you about series of decisions that I intentionally made in my life that changed my life, that literally was the beginning to me leading myself. At the beginning of me leading myself, that then eventually led to who I am today. And at the age of 30, I also made a decision. I remember sitting on top of my bed and I said to myself, I said, I will not die ordinary. I will not die ordinary. I don't know if you have ever made that decision, but I want to implore you to make that decision, that you're not going to die ordinary, that you're not going to just live life like everybody else, but you would toe the path that God wants for you. You will readily recognize what God wants for you and you will respond to it. And every other distraction you will shut out of your life. And at the age of 31, a year after that, a few months after that, actually, I made another decision that changed my life. I went in search of the purpose of God for my life. I literally sought God and said, Lord, why have you created me? Which is one of the major things I want to talk about today, because that changed my life forever. What is my purpose in life? Why was I even created? Why was I born? And on 16th of December 2016, my life changed because I got clarity of what that purpose was, what that purpose is. And till today, it has helped to focus my life even more. See, when you discover the purpose of God for your life, when you discover purpose, it focuses your life. It helps you to know the kind of friends to keep. It helps you to know all the kind of course to study at school. It helps you to know where in the world to live in. It helps you to know what to do and what not to do. You understand what I'm trying to say? The kind of people to have as mentors and all. It just focuses your life. Someone said there are 4 stages of life. Number 1 is the stage of dependence. And most of us, started from there, where every single one of us are either dependent on our parents, dependent on people, dependent on society. That's the age of dependence, where literally you're not making decisions of yourself. It's like people are making decisions for you. Society is making decisions for you. You are just winging it. Okay. I hope we don't have anyone like that in the room, but if you are, don't worry, you are in the right place. If you're one of those people and you are still winging your life and you're like, I don't know, I'm just drifting. Okay, you're in the right place. The next stage of life that must literally be after that age of dependence is what I call the age of discovery. If I can put sort of like age range to this, your dependence should not be more than 20, 25 maximum. So do we have anyone below the age of 25 here? That stage of dependence, where your parents are probably still paying your bills, please don't let it be more than age 25. If you're starting to get to a 30, it's also not good. Okay, all right. But the moment you clock 25, if even from age 20, your age of discovery can begin. Your season of discovery can begin. And what should you discover? 5 things. Number 1, you must discover your true identity. Your true identity, who you really are, not who people say you are, who you really are at your core. And there are 2 core discoveries that leads to the discovery of identity. Number 1, the discovery of who God is. The discovery of who God is germane to the discovery of who you are. You will never truly come to terms with your authentic self until you catch a revelation, a dimension of who God is. You may not be able to, of course. Nobody catches a full dimension of who God is. Nobody. The Apostle Paul in the Bible, after all of the exploits in his life, still was saying in the book of Philippians that I may know him. And that's where you realize that, if someone at that level still does not still wants to know more, then who are we? So but my point is, it's the discovery of God that helps you to discover who you are. What does it mean by discovery of God? It means to have an encounter with God. If you have never truly been in pursuit of an encounter with God, I want to join you. What a pivotal time of the year we're in. This November/December, I want you to begin to become intentional and just saying, Lord God, please reveal yourself to me. See, when you get a revelation of who God is, you automatically get a revelation of who you are. No matter the dimension of God that He shows Himself as to you, you automatically get a revelation of who you are. It changes your life forever. So what's the second discovery in terms of discovery of your identity? The second one is your personality. Who you are in terms of how you manifest. So the other one helps you to understand your unchangeable identity, right? Who you are in God, how you're made in the image of God. That's a very powerful one, all right? And then your personality. This one, you need to invest in research. Those personality tests, I recommend things like MBTI, the Gallup Strength Test, some of I5 tests, some of all these amazing tests, hundreds of years of research that's culminated into some of this amazing works of psychology. It is really crucial. And in case you are, someone who's a person of faith and you want to take this a top notch, discover your temperaments. All right, read books like Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye. All right, Tim and Beverly Lai, amazing book. All right, discover your temperaments. I want to believe most of us in this room, you will know your temperaments. All right, those are two massive, wonderful discoveries that would help in the discovery of who you are as a person. Why should you discover? Because I've talked about why you should discover God. Let me talk about why you should discover your personality. Even if you have coconut head, it is good that you know that you have coconut head. Do you get my point? You should understand that, okay, I am a stubborn person. Know it. Don't be second guessing. Know that you are, so that you know how now to persuade yourself and help your life. If you're a stubborn person, you probably need to put yourself under a mentor, under accountability, you know what I mean now. But when you don't know and you are completely ignorant and oblivious of your personality type, excuse me, you will struggle throughout life. So you know your strengths and you know your weakness. So in the age of discovery, you must discover your identity. Number two thing you must discover is your purpose in life. I always tell people, purpose is not what you do. What you do is it should be an outflow of the discovery of your purpose, but purpose is not what you do. Purpose is not what you do best. I know you've heard a lot of people tell you, our purpose is that one thing that you do so well that you must do every day, low, high. Just put that one in your pocket. Your purpose is not what you do. Your purpose is why you do it. And we don't have enough time to go too deep into just focusing on purpose today. But if you want to know more, apply to the School of Purpose and Influence. I think admissions are open. For HRME, we'll tell you more about that perhaps later. Okay. But you must discover your purpose. It is the discovery of purpose. Listen to this. It is the discovery of purpose that helps you to express God express God from your inside. In fact, let me even bring it down a bit more. It is the discovery of purpose that helps you not to look at other people's way of life to judge your own way of life. My mates are getting married at the age of 30, and my this and that. You won't even bother. Do you know that? Please, show of hands if you relate to this. Do you know that when you are on a path that is right, you get a sense of it? You get this confirmation from your core that even though you are not riding a big car yet, you are not yet living in a big house, but you know that you are on that journey. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? And then when you are not too, you also know. Am I correct? You also know. All of a sudden you have this sense of emptiness, this sense of void, this sense that what am I doing with my life? What's going on? You also know. So it is good to know. And purpose is what gives you that compass. Purpose is a compass. Please write that down. It's a compass. It helps you to know the direction of your life. So again, purpose is not what you do. It is the why. And I often teach, let me quickly teach this. Let me drop this here. Do you know why questions are deep questions and shallow people can't answer why questions? And let me do a test. If I ask you what's your name, all right, and let me ask Feishayomi. Feishayomi means, my name is Feishayomi. If I then ask Feishayomi, why is your name Feishayomi? All of a sudden, Feishayomi will become defensive. That's when you hear things like, I don't know. My parents just gave it to me. You know why? Because most of the time, we don't normally think about why questions. Why questions are deep questions. Why are you living in Canada? Why were you born in Nigeria? Why is your hair like triangle and not like rectangle? You know, whatever. Why questions are deep. But people love to live on the shallow and the shallow level of life. And just looking for a big car, big house, celebrity friends to work with. And that's why they find it very hard to lead their way to global transformation. Because they themselves have not answered the pertinent questions of life. Why am I even here? They are tough questions. Why questions are tough questions? Why did I study so in school? Why did I even go to that particular school? They are tough questions. But the day you answer why questions, you realize that you are answering questions of core, C-O-R-E, core questions that then sponsors your what and your how you behave and what you do. Why everything, Simon Sinek drew this amazing three cycles, three circles. All right, the one in the you call that concentric circle. The one that is right in the middle is the why. The one on the outer part of that why is the how, which is a level deeper, and then the one on the the outer part is the what. That's what most of us are compared. Like we just live superficial life. We just know what we want to do, what we are doing, but we don't know how. Some of us don't even go deep into how, talk less of why. So in the age of discovery, you must know your identity. You must discover your identity. So in case you are taking notes, these are things I want you to, if you can, go on a retreat this month / next month to discover these things that I'm talking about. Yes, you can. It takes, of course, it takes a level of relationship with God to discover some of these things I'm talking about. I mean, you can't discover God if you don't have a relationship with God. You will never get a dimension of him. And it also takes a relationship with God to know his purpose for your life. Hello. You can't bribe him. You must have a relationship. It's revealed to you. Okay. And you know one beautiful thing about purpose? It doesn't change. So it's your greatest security in life. Your greatest security in life is the discovery of your purpose. So that's why you see people who have discovered their purpose, they are so secure in themselves. But when people haven't discovered their purpose, they are so insecure. The economy will make you insecure. People's opinion of you will make you insecure. You can't lead effectively if you don't. I'm telling you, Feisha, people's opinion of you will just start making you insecure. But when you have discovered the purpose of God for your life, all those insecurities are gone because you, like I said earlier on, you know you're on the right path. And that alone is recipe for confidence and authenticity. You live out from your core. Number 3 thing you need to discover are your gifts. Your gifts. What are you gifted to do? What is something you do at an extraordinary level than anybody else? That if you're waking up from sleep right now, what is something that when they mention your name, they mention that gift alongside it? My own is speaking and writing, ladies and gentlemen. And I am so to the glory of God. I am still on that journey, obviously, but I have mastered my speaking, and I have mastered and I'm still mastering it. You must develop mastery of your gifts. one of the things that affects many young people is they just like to live on the shallow aspect of life where they don't discover their gifts. They don't discover all these things that we're talking about. It's just live life every day, just coasting through life. Don't wing it. That's the age of dependence. Leave that age of dependence. Come to the age of discovery if you're not there yet. Discover your gifts. Discover what you do so well. That's your gift. That's not your purpose. But when you discover purpose, your gift will make sense. You didn't hear that. Purpose is what you must do with your gift. So people who don't know their purpose, they just use their gift anyhow. Some of them even prostitute their gifts for the highest bidder. We need 5 hours to go deep into this. Some people go and engage in employment that their purpose is not even, there are some people that are not supposed to be employed in terms of how God has destined their lives. I've given that illustration of eagles in a cage, but I don't have the time to go there. Otherwise, I won't finish what I would need to tell you about what you need to discover. But Feisha, maybe you can tell them maybe towards the end. You would have enough time. You are the host. You can use time anyhow. An eagle in a cage. Feisha will tell you what it means. So discover your gifts. Number 4 thing you must discover is your potential. Purpose also helps you to understand your potential. In other words, to see yourself beyond any limit anyone is trying to place you under. There's a way that maybe what you studied in school can put a limit on what you can become. There's a way that, the society you live in, the environment you live in can place a limit on who you can become. But when you understand that your potential is much more than what you studied in school, there is this material that I teach. I call them the 5 graveyards of purpose. If you follow me on social media, you probably would have seen it somewhere. 5 graveyards. One of them is education. I'm not saying you don't go to school, but some people believe that their life is based on what they've studied in school. Some people believe that they are what they studied. Excuse me, you are not what you studied. Because you studied pure and applied physics does not mean your potential is pure and applied physics. Okay, so stop living by what you studied in school. I hope this will help somebody. So even if you study pure and applied physics, God can take you way beyond that. The other one is people's opinion. This one is one of those things burying people's potential. No wonder somebody said the richest place on earth is the graveyard, because many people die without realizing their potential. I pray that you will not add to the wealth of the grave. This is so important. Another graveyard of potential is career, employment. There are some people who go and take employment that will be burying them every single day. When you know your purpose, when you understand your potential, when you know your gifts, don't take any job that does not allow you to express your gifts. Let me give you one tip. One tip for employment. If you're saying, okay, what kind of job should I take this job? Or should I? Don't look at money and just go there. That's a wrong compass. Money is the worst compass in life. Do we all know what compass is? Compass is that tool that gives you direction. That's why I told you, purpose is your compass. And thank you, Kelechi, for typing it out the other time, and Feisha as well. Purpose is your compass. Don't take any job where you cannot fully express your gifts, where you cannot fully express, where you don't feel like it's a part of the journey to your potential. Is this making sense to you? And the last thing you must discover is your vision. Where am I going? It's not too early to ask yourself, where do I see myself in the next 20 years? I know people only ask that question during, when they're on a date. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? The person they're asking has not even asked themselves. All of a sudden, it gets defensive. Why should you be asking that question? This is even the first date. You're going too serious. It's because he has not asked himself before. That's why he's been defensive. If he has asked himself before, he will say it confidently. But because he has not asked himself before, why are you asking me that kind of question? You are trying to interrogate me. But that's one thing, one of the things you must discover about yourself. Where exactly are you headed? Where are you going? That's what you must do in your age of discovery. Those 5 things that I gave to you. The next age is that age of deployment or devotion, where you then focus on those 5 things you have discovered about yourself. You focus and you live from your identity. You focus on your purpose and potential. You use your gifts on a daily basis to develop mastery. You are intentional about your vision, where you are headed. You are so intentional about discovering more about God, more about your personality. You are invested. You are investing money. You are investing time. You are investing energy into research. You want to know who you are. You want to know your strengths. You want to know your weakness. You understand what I'm trying to say? You are not giving up on discovering more about yourself. Because see, the more you discover about yourself, the farther you can take yourself. The farther you can take yourself. No horizon will hold you back. And as I close, it's important that you realize that if you don't discover these things about yourself, I promise you, there is a likelihood you will live a limited life and an ordinary life. Because when it comes to that age, so usually that age of deployment usually starts from around 30, 35, 40. In fact, the moment you turn 30, that should be your age of deployment. 30 is a very significant year. Is anyone turning 30 this year, or has turned 30 this year, or will turn 30 next year? You are at a pivotal time of your life. You must go on a retreat before you turn 30. I'm giving you that personal assignment. Where is nobody answering? Anybody turning 30 this year? Anybody turning 30 next year? Anybody just turned 30 this year? Nobody. Yeah, that your hand, I'm suspecting. But you must go on a retreat. And those 5 things that I mentioned, you must begin to go on a journey of trying to discover that. Okay, maybe there's nobody here, but start your journey of discovery. Don't wait till you're about to turn 30. Start now. The earlier you discover these things, the better. The better. The better. So yeah, you can deploy yourself and focus your life on your purpose. Focus your life using your gift. Focus your life adding value to people with your gift and your potential. And lastly, is that stage of demise. You see, it starts with D, dependence, discovery, devotion or deployment, and then demise. That's that age where we begin to now try to preserve our legacy. But you can't preserve the legacy you don't have. Did you hear that? You cannot preserve the legacy you don't have. People who have genuine legacy that transcends generation, they are people who are devoted themselves to their calling in life and their purpose in life. You get my point? But when you don't know your purpose and you have not lived out your purpose, there will be no legacy to preserve. If you're truly going to lead the way to global transformation, if you're going to harness your individuality, you must discover these things about yourself, deploy them in your life, and then build a legacy. Build a life, my favorite term, transgenerational influence. Build a life of transgenerational influence that will outlast you, that will outlast your lifetime. And if you come to the School of Purpose and Influence, we can help you discover these 5 things. That's what we do in the entire 15-week course. And it's all for free. We help you discover what the purpose of God for your life. We help you discover your identity. We help you to shape your potential. We help you to discover your gifts. Literally, the entire 5 things. So that you can set yourself up for a future that is uncommon. I hope these few minutes that we'll spend together, because that's my time, has been a blessing to you. That you have picked up at least 1 or 2, 3 things that you can begin to work on towards leading your way to global transformation. Remember, you cannot lead your way to global transformation if you have not led yourself. And you cannot lead yourself if you have not discovered some of these core things about yourself. I hope this has been a blessing to you. It's been an honor and a privilege being here. Faisha, may God bless you. Thanks for having me. God bless you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, I need to unmute Job. Sorry, just give me a moment. Ask to mute. Yes. Job, can you speak?
Yes, I can speak. I can speak. That was incredibly
Oh
amazing.
my.
Guy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I would have felt if I had missed out on this. This is I have a whole notebook full. A whole
Golly.
ah okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, one of the things I always say when I attend events like this, the first thing when I get a chance to speak, the first thing I say is be here for yourself. Be
Yes.
here for yourself. You know, sometimes you're listening to a person talk about this and like, that my friend, if only you can come here. No, 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 no. No, do not do yourself that disfavor of missing out on listening every time. It's a new neural pathway. Be here for yourself. And that piece of scripture that he read, Romans 12:1-2, right?
Yes.
Guys, go over it. As
The
many
message
is
translation.
everything. How you do one thing is literally how you do everything. So for the many times that I'll do it later, and you ask yourself the questions, how many other things in my life have I been waiting to do later? Because thinking is really hard, like he said. The why questions, when you ask you, because nothing just happens. Nothing. It's you who would think it just happened. It's just a coincidence. They did not think about anything. It was the first. Some people say their names are their names because it was the first sound that was made, or there was something the parents. There's always a reason. If you ask the right questions, the answers will come.
Right.
The answers will come. And identity. By the way, if you have any questions, please leave in the comments. We'll take them all and ask him so he will be able to come back a little later, or perhaps we'll even have him answer the questions as promptly as possible. So maybe can you go through the chat and see if we have any questions? If we do, please join in. Would ask him so he can.
No questions for now. Let me check on YouTube.
Okay. While she does that, I think yesterday we spoke about levels of change. I just mentioned it on the surface. And many times we assume that when something isn't working for us, the first thing we need to do is change environment. But you see that identity is on the 5th level, but the highest level of change is purpose and spirituality. So when you can connect with God, you find your purpose, you find your identity, and there are things they don't even need to tell you. You will just not be able to do those things again because
yes,
I know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You will just not be able to do those things again. But most times we like to get on the peripheral level just because thinking is hard. We don't want to think. They ask you why, you get defensive. You cannot see that is there. You don't want to, ask the why questions. And this is really important. The 4Ds, if you didn't take anything, I don't know if you said the 5, is it 4 or 5? Dependence, discovery, deployment, and demise. And the importance of this progression is you cannot skip steps. I mean, imagine telling myself that I'm going to preserve a legacy that I do not even know what is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Imagine I want to deploy when I have no idea who I am, what I am for, what do I stand for. Remember, your purpose is not the same thing as your gift. If you know your purpose, it'll be easy. Your gift will make sense. Suddenly it will make sense. And the question of what job will I do, will I not do, it's very easy. Does it align with your purpose? No, it's not even a competition. It's not something you need to. God, thank you.
Job, I really, really feel you with all that you're saying. And thank you so much, Daddy, for sharing that with us. This is just, I've heard it over and over and over again, but it just brings light bulbs into my mind every time I listen to you speak about this purpose thing, because I used to assume that many persons know these things, but no, we don't. No, we don't. We don't even know ourselves. There's this exercise I used to tell my people to do, 50 things you know about yourself. And it's hard for us to write just 50 things we know about ourselves. And just yesterday again, I got a call from one of my bosses, and she kind of like, hey guys, you need to say happy birthday to Fayshayo. And I'm wondering how. I didn't even stay long on this job. Why are you calling me? Why are you telling people that didn't meet me to tell me happy birthday, to sing happy birthday song for me? How? Why? But then it goes back to say, you need to know yourself. You need to know what you're supposed to be doing part-time. Right? It's a leather business. It's a leather company, and they called me back. So I'm saying that because for those of you that know what I do, you will understand that leather is a core part of me. Right? And getting those people to call me makes me realize that, Omo, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Right? And that's how to do it. We'll need to wrap this session up here, but before I allow Job continue, I just want to say to all of you, right, that you should, where do I start from? Oh, my daddy left. Oh, okay, it's still here. Where do I start from? Yesterday, I said it and I'm saying it again. Start from School of Purpose and Influence. It's not because it's my daddy. See, okay, he became my daddy because I saw School of Purpose and Influence. Do you understand? So please, you like the way Feishaya is behaving, you like the way she does her thing, all those good words you people said to me yesterday, it's because I took that faith, that step of faith that I'm going to do the right thing. I want to become a better version of myself, and I want to help others to become better. So please, the first step, what should I do from here? Is School of Purpose and Influence. And if you now say, okay, I don't want to do that, you're a book person, there are a lot of books. You know that I do a lot of things. I pride in being a multi-potentialite, but as much as it's a good thing, it's difficult. It gives me a lot of confusion. Then I read your problem is that you are multi-talented by Dr. Sam Ekudaya, and it changed the way I do my things. It made me know what to do part-time and when to do them. Okay, it made me know what my major is and what my minor is. So why you see me, hey Faye, why are you not doing this again? Well, you think I'm supposed to do it, but this is what I'm actually supposed to do. And just like Job mentioned it yesterday, there's always a blind spot. Others will not see it, but you can see it. Right. Thank you so much, Daddy. Thank you so much for sharing this with all of us. We are glad and we are happy. We are blessed by this, and we'll definitely hold on to it as we chat our course. Thank you so much. Much love, Daddy. Much love. Yes,
Thank you.
Daddy. Yes. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So School of Purpose, I saw that we have a website that has been dropped in the comments. So please find your way there. Remember, with purpose comes security. Once you know your purpose, it's like they say there are two great things the day you were born. There are two great days, the day you were born and the day you figure out why you were born. So imagine figuring that out now. It will all just make sense. It doesn't matter how long you've lived or how vast all the things you've had to do. Imagine just knowing why you're born, what your purpose is. Different from your gifts. Yes, you have many things that you can do, but what's the purpose? Danka. Anyway, I think we're encroaching into the time for our next speaker. I don't know if he's on the call already. Is Mr. Ayodele Josh here? Is he here? You're muted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
He's here, right?
he is. Yes, he is. Langdon is saying, now I know the secret sauce. I don't need to be, no. But yes, please. Yes, please. Now you know the sauce. Go there.
Right. So yeah, purpose comes clarity. With purpose comes clarity. Everything will just make sense. You will just know, why am I struggling to do this? And you would understand. So yes, our next speaker, Mr. Ayodele Josh. He's a transformational life and leadership coach, management consultant, and a pastor based in Abuja, Nigeria, with a deep passion for organizational development and learning and development. Ayodele is dedicated to helping organizations build high-performing teams and foster a culture of continuous improvement and learning. As executive director of Roy Ford International, an ICT services company, he leads efforts to provide innovative and sustainable technology solutions that empower organizations to achieve their critical goals. Under his leadership, Royford has been known for its commitment to excellence, organizational transformation, and performance optimization through tailored technology solutions. In addition to his consultancy work, Ayodele is the president of Ayodele Josh International Leadership Consult, where he continues to shape organizations' growth through visionary leadership and management expertise. His role here involves not only guiding the organization's strategic direction, but also mentoring the next generation of leaders. Ayodele Josh's influence extends beyond the corporate world into his pastoral calling. As the lead pastor of Liberty Hills Christian Center, he inspires individuals through spiritual leadership, helping them live purpose-driven lives. His teachings emphasizes personal growth, resilience, and the power of faith in overcoming life's challenges. With a unique blend of leadership, business acumen, and spiritual insight, Ayodele Josh has become a trusted mentor and coach, empowering individuals and organizations alike to reach their full potential. This is quite a lot. So yes, welcome, Mr. Pastor Ayodele Josh. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
All right.
First day.
Once again, happy birthday, Feisha Yomi. Thank you so very much for leaving you, right? For being you to our world. You know, it's not easy being Feisha Yomi.
No, it's
Thank you
not.
so very much.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you.
I wish you all the best things in life. I wish you acceleration.
Amen.
I wish you good attraction,
Amen.
right? And I wish you good traction also.
Amen.
God bless you, bless you, bless your heart. And thanks a lot to the anchor. I'm grateful for having me here. I can't thank you enough. Like really, I can't thank you enough. And thanks a lot for reading out my profile. Many times I won't lie to you. Thank you everyone for being here. Kindly let me just jump into this, Dr. Sam, thank you so very much for all you do. I hear of you a lot, and I've had to go and dig into everything that you do from my friends and associates. Many of whom say a lot of good things about what you do to our world. May God bless you so very much, sir. And let me cycle back on my profile. I won't lie to you, everyone listening to me this evening. When I look back at what the profile reads, sometimes it also baffles me. It makes me cringe. It really makes me cringe. You know, how God can take a life that is broken, busted, discombobulated, a life that really shouldn't have a shape, and God had brought out something that could inspire people through it. Is something that I owe God, I owe divinity for. You know, many times I tell people I can't even write half of what I've done in life. You know, I can't even write it in my profile because it will sound too high. You know, sometimes I ask myself, when did you do all of this? You know, but it's just been by the grace of God. And probably there's someone here, you're asking, what does life hold for you? I'm saying it to you. You know, all you need to do is to bring the broken pieces of your life and lay it at the master's feet. Should I say that again? All you need to do is to take that broken pieces of your life and just give it to God and watch God make a masterpiece out of that broken life. Watch God make a masterpiece out of it. Feisha, permit me to tell people a little bit about myself. Do you permit me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me see if I can see people's names here. Okay, I think I can see people's name. I can see Glory. I can see Ayodeji. I can see Kelvin, Faith. I can see Eviben. I can see oh my God, great names here. I can see Feisha Mi's friend, Legdong. We knew you. Okay, so good. All right, so I'll tell you a bit about myself and then I'll go into what I have to say today, which is most important. But you see, before I tell you anything about leadership and how to lead your world, first and foremost, you need to know that this person you're seeing here, if there's someone who shouldn't have made it in life, then it should have been me. I'm not ashamed to say that now. If there's someone that shouldn't have made it, it should have been me. Because right after university, I gave myself to everything that humanity can call good. But like life happens, and I couldn't graduate. Felt like life was over because I had a plan, I had a good strategy for life. After school, I was gonna go right into ministry, or if ministry is not gonna work, then I'm gonna be a marketer. I wanted to sell bank products. I wanted like I wanted to sell bank products. I wanted to go into the financial sector, and not for the money actually. It's just to make a name for myself as one of those guys that could actually sell. That was it. But bam, 2006, everything fell to the ground, and it was like as if life was over. But like I said earlier on, it is only over until you say it is over, right? It's until you give up that life stops. But if life is not stopping right now, then pick up your life and just move on. Pick up your life and move on. If you have faith, God will send people around you who come and lift you up. And that's how I got here today. If there's anything to be celebrated in my life, trust me, it's not the handiwork of a man. I didn't know how it happened. Only that I committed my life into the hand of someone who could make a masterpiece from this broken piece. Right. Okay, so thanks once again for sharing me. I will be talking on leadership for the next few minutes, and can I plead with you to change the topic, to tweak the topic a little bit, right? Which is I'm going to use one subject that I love so much, which is high impact leadership. So if you blend what the theme of this conference is with what I have, then you will get a better feel of the things that I'm going to discuss today. Yes. At the end of the session, I'm going to share with Felicia the content of what I'm going to be talking from today. So leading the way to global transformation. So I'm going to focus on high impact leadership. For us to go through this properly, there are things that you must know, and there are things you must do. If we are going to get this right, there are things you must know and there are things you must do. So what should you do? Please pick up your writing material and begin to write the things that you must recall. The things you must recall. You see, recall does not make you an intellectual genius. Recall gives you, as in writing does not make you an intellectual genius. Writing only makes you a disciplined learner. Let me say that again. Writing does not make you an intellectual genius. Writing makes you a disciplined learner. You see, great minds write well. Great minds write well. Everybody have a form of ingenuity in them. You are a genius in some ways, but you have not just found a pathway to your ingenuity. Some people's ingenuity is tied to how well they are able to write. So please, there are things that you must write. Don't trust your brain about them. There are people who have photographic memory, but there are two types of photographic memories that I've seen in my interaction with people. There are people who have static photographic memory, and there are people who have motion photographic memory. Some people's power of recall is in the ability to see things moving, while some people's power of recall is in the ability to see things stationary, right? But either way, there is a genius in you. Like me, I thought that I was not a genius because I felt like I could not recall things. But I saw other geniuses, I have a wife who has a very static photographic memory. So what she does is that she paints everything in her mind and she has this fantastic power of recall. So she recalls everything she needs to know and then bam, she pours it on the ground and she's gone. So after examination, I asked her, oh, do you remember this thing? And she says, no, I only did it for the examination and that's all. But for me, I don't forget things. I don't have immediate recall, but I don't forget things. So because I knew that about myself, I started learning to write more because the power of my ingenuity is tied to how well I write. So there are things, if you're going to make if you're going to make maximum use of this time that you have, there are things you must write. There are things because you need to recall them. There are things that you must write with the hope of going back to them in order to be able to do them. There are things you must also do. You must write down the things you must do after this class, right? And every time you write the things you must do, you must write when you must do them. Are you with me? When whatever you hear from me today that you feel like strikes a chord with you, what should you do? Write them down. But don't just write them down as things you must do. Write when you must do them. There are things you must do tonight. There are things you must do tomorrow. Quickly do that, right? And then you need to also write beside what you want to do. With whom will you do them? Should you do them? There are things that you need the help of Aisha to do. There are things you need the help of Dr. Sam to do. So you need to write with whom should you do them? And then how often should you do them? Write how often you should do them. So let's jump right into leadership. How can you lead your way into global transformation? Let me say this and say this very, very, very well to you. I learned this as a child that, it was a story that I heard of someone who wanted to change the world. He really wanted to change the world. And as he grew on, he kept seeing the fact that in order to change the world, he needed to change himself. The change that you want to see in the world first begins with you. So let's talk about what leadership is. For me, I love to define leadership as simply using your influence to make people better or to make it better people. That's what I define leadership to be. Leadership is simply using your influence to make people better or to make it better people. So as a leader, the keys, the greatest weapon in the arsenal of a leader is influence. So if you want to know leadership, some people will say leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. That's a definition from one of the greatest minds in leadership, Dr. John C. Maxwell, right? You without influence. Let me say that again. You cannot lead without influence. Without influence, forget leadership. But what is leadership? Leadership simply means using your influence to make people better. Leadership exists majorly in social context. And I need to understand this very well. Once you remove the social context from leadership, then you don't have leadership again. So leadership is simply using your influence to make people better. Don't forget that. So if you want to define leadership, we can all gloss over this definition. If you do not understand what influence is, then you may not understand what leadership is. Will you permit me to define what influence is? To let you know why leaders, right, use influence to make people better. What is influence? Influence simply is the power of a person to be a compelling force on others. It is the power of a person to be a compelling force on others. And it is also the capacity to affect how they develop, how they think, and how they act. So what is influence? Influence, if I say I am a person of influence, then I have the capacity to affect the way you develop. Do you now understand why leadership is influence? Because leaders they are a compelling force that shapes the way people develop. That's why a leader can come into your life and you may be a lily-livered person. You may be a shy person. You may be a person who doesn't have results in your life. The ability of that leader to change your perspective to life, to change your reaction to life, to change how you do things, how you see things, how you feel about things is what makes that person a leader. A leader is not someone who dictates to you, but a leader is someone who sees through you, sees the capacity, sees the potential in you, and then sees your limitation and is willing to help you through your limitation in order to bring the best out of you. So leadership is using your influence to make people better or to make it better people, while influence is your ability to affect the way people develop, is to affect the way people think and the way people act. So most of the times, having defined leadership like this, I would like to define the concept of high impact leadership. A high impact leader is a person who have mastered the art of using their influence to create a lasting impression on people and galvanize them into a movement that can affect culture and systems. Should I say that again? Who is a high impact leader? A high impact leader is a person who have mastered the art of using their influence to create lasting impression on people and to galvanize them into a movement that would affect culture and systems. Okay, somebody is asking, let me say that again, right? I see people are writing. Who is a high impact leader? A high impact leader is someone who have mastered the use of influence. I'm going to get into how breaking down what influence is, right? In some ways today, right? But don't forget this and remember it for the rest of your life, right? That for you to be a high impact leader, for you to be a leader that everyone, everyone talks about, is simply using your influence to create a lasting impression on people. You see, that's why leaders sometimes there are some leaders who use brute force. There are some leaders who use subconscious force. They have a way of getting into people without them even knowing that they have gotten into them. But we're going to get into that subsequently. But don't forget this, that if you are ever going to be a high impact leader, one of the things that you must know is that it is in your ability to use your influence, having mastered how to use it, right, to create a lasting impression on people and to galvanize them into a movement that will affect culture and systems. Let me say this to you. The greatest strength of a leader is not just to make difference in the life of people. The end goal is to bring those people together in such a way that your collective force as a movement can change the culture of an organization, can change the culture of an institution, can change the culture of a nation, and change the system of that nation. You see, every organization, every institution, every nation produces after its kind. So if you see corruption in the nation is just producing the DNA, it's just producing after its DNA. What is leadership? Leadership is simply identifying the weakness in the DNA of an organization, identifying the weakness in the DNA of an institution, of a nation, and galvanizing people who have embraced your own personal value or the values that is required to move that organization from where it is to where it should be. That's what leadership is about. So if you are a leader and you are doing everything to influence individual, the end goal is to bring those individuals together to the point where you have shared values, and that values have the capacity to shape or to reshape the culture of the organization you're working in, or the institution you're working with, or with the nation that you're working in. The goal of also changing the system so that afterwards, the nation, the organization, the institution begins to produce after the value system that you have created. What is influence? Let me say this to you. Everyone have influence. Do not let anybody tell you that you do not have influence. You have influence. Do not think in your mind that you don't have influence. Personally, I'm going to let you know, as someone who has been in that place before, that you have influence. Second thing I want to tell you about influence is that your influence can be shaped by your personality. Your influence can be shaped by your personality. That's why if you don't know who you are, there is no way you can be who you ought to be or who God made you to be. So know this, that your influence can be shaped by your personality. I know a bit about myself. Personally, I'm very thorough when it comes to Josh. I am very extremely thorough. There was a time I got to know about MBTI, this personality test. I took that test for close to 30 times, in order to be able to find the real Josh, to find the real me. Because no evolution can ever happen until the person is, and until the person evolves from the old you to the new you that can make the change to society and institution that you have found yourself in. So you have influence. Have that behind your mind. Number two, your influence can be shaped by your personality. When I started out my work, when I got into university, I used to be a very tacit person. I don't talk. I don't like to talk. I was very, enclosed in myself. I was a music person, but I was very shy and timid. I was that guy that then thank God I used to have that Walkman. You guys have phones now and you have MP3. You got then it is Walkman that we carry about, and then you have your headphone. You slit your cassette in it, and then that's what I was just listening to. There was a day I saw people doing a lot of things in university, and I just cried to God. I said, God, see, I love to do things for people. I love to do things with people, but I seem to not have influence. So I told God that day, I said, God, if only you can help me, such that the way I walk, the way I carry myself on campus can draw people to you. That was all I asked for. Guess what? I didn't know the power of that prayer until one day I found people gravitating towards me just as a result of the way I carry myself. I find people coming to ask me, oh, why is your name this? Why do people call you? Of course, sorry, on campus, they used to call me Bishop. And somehow I just became Bishop. People come and ask, why is your name Bishop? And from asking, why is your name Bishop, I was able to lead a lot of people to Christ. I became such an influence. I mean, in 200 level, yes, I remember 200 level, you know, her election was happening on campus. And one day I got into the room of one of the godfathers in my university, and the guy was telling everybody in the room that we have only one problem on this campus. They say, who is the person? They say, it's one guy, his name is Bishop. They say that everybody follows him. And guess what? I was right in the room while this guy was reporting to everybody. He was reporting to the stakeholders that there's this guy, his name is Bishop. We heard that is the only problem we have. If he says we should go this way, everybody will go that way. My friends were just laughing. They said, that's him. And then I was very small. They said, that's him. They looked at me, I was like, you're a small thing. I said, yes. But guess what? From just that small decision, right, came up this small guy, but with massive influence, massive influence. So you have influence. And your influence can be shaped by your personality. The second thing that can shape your influence is your experience. Experience can shape your influence. If you've been beaten by life, you may not be able to do as much as is contained within it. So let me read this to you. You see, good people or good leader work to shape their influence for the betterment of the life of the people within their sphere of influence. So what should you do with influence? The first thing you do with your influence is to learn to shape that influence for good. Shape that influence for good. See, I'm not so much of an eloquent speaker, though some people have a different opinion about that. But you see, when I saw that I had influence, then I had to start working on things about my life. I started working on things about my life in order to be able to do what I should do. And then let me say this again. Keep it in your mind and keep it forever. Great leaders are masters of influence. Great leaders are masters of influence. That's where I want to stop on this. Let me now move on to how you can go from where you are to where you should be using influence. Using influence. You see, I have a lot on my table, but I see that we have short time, so I'm trying to pick what I would say. Let me dwell on influence. You see, how can you lead with influence? The job of a leader is to shape how people act. Please don't forget that. The job of a leader is to shape how people act or how people behave. The ultimate job of a leader, right, is to shape how people act or behave. But that's the end goal, right? Before you can shape how they behave, you must be able to shape how they feel. Before you can shape how they feel, you must shape how they think. And in order to shape how they think, you must shape how they believe or what they believe. So in influence, the first thing as a leader is that you shape what people believe, you shape how they think in order to be able to condition how they feel and then how they behave. Don't forget that. Belief, thinking, feeling, and behavior. Let me say that again. A good leader shapes what people believe in order to shape how they think, in order to dictate how they feel, in order for them to be able to behave in a particular way. So in leadership, there are few things that you must keep in mind. There are few things you must keep in mind. The first thing is, what do I want people that I am leading to believe? What do I want the people I am leading to believe? You see, trust me, every time the leader of a nation comes out to speak, the leader is speaking to what they want you to believe. And let me say this, trust me, the president of a nation is usually, sometimes may not be the leader of that nation. Why am I saying that? The president of a nation may not necessarily be the leader of that nation. Tough to believe, right? Ta, ta, ta. The leader in the family may not necessarily be the father. The person with the highest influence in that organization, in that family, in that nation, guess what? Is the leader of that nation. Because leadership is not just in position. Leadership is the person who shapes what they believe. Is the person who shapes how they feel, how they think, and how they act. That's the leader. So you see, I usually do this experiment when we are in the when we are in a class. You know, it's a physical class. I ask people who is the leader in the family, and everybody says, "Oh, it's the father." Then I ask them who had the most influence after defining influence, and then they say it's the mother. So who is the leader in the family? Let's leave that question. In the same light, if you see a nation where corruption is prevalent, right? Guess what? The people with the highest influence are corrupt. It may not necessarily be the leader of the nation. The person that wages the highest influence is usually the leader of the nation, and sometimes they may not have a name. So if you are going to be a leader, especially a global leader, keep this in mind. You must have it in mind. Keep this in mind, that you must shape what people believe. You must shape how they think. You must shape what you want them to, how you want them to feel, and then how they would act. What are we talking about? You see, belief simply means to accept or to take something to be true. Let me be fast a bit now. You know, what is belief? Belief simply means to accept, or what people believe, what people have accepted to be true, or what people have taken to be true. What people believe is a foundation that shapes their experiences and expectations. What people believe is what shapes their experiences and their expectation. If people believe that they are poor, right, they already expect life to be hard. If people believe that they are rich, they already have an expectation that life should be soft. That's why even when rich people lose money, they still live a good life. Why? Because their mind has been shaped. Their mind has been shaped. So let's start with belief. There are 5 things you must help people to believe in. Maybe we'll just, I just take quickly on that. First, you should define what you want them to believe about you as a leader. What do you want the people that you are leading to believe about you? You must be deliberate about it. What do you want them to believe about you? Do you want them to believe that you really can help them? You must shape their thought. Leadership is antithetical to freedom. Leadership is antithetical to freedom. You can't have leadership and freedom at the same time. That's why, you see, leadership is providing a guardrail that can force people, permit me to use the word, that can put people in such a place. Because many people have thought about leadership. Leadership is just allowing people to be themselves. No, leadership is not allowing people to be themselves. Leadership is being able to influence people to want to be together in order to achieve something together. So in leadership, people cannot do what they feel. They can't do what they want. A leader shapes what he wants them to believe about him, or about himself. The leader also shape what they want, what you want the people that you are leading to believe about themselves. If you want them to believe that, guys, you can do it, you guys are perfect together. If you say, oh, all of you, see, I don't know what is wrong with you, you people are just disjointed, they have a mindset, and that mindset keeps them far apart from each other, and they cannot accomplish together. So the job of a leader is to teach people, is to influence what they think about you as a leader. Can they trust you? You need to get them to trust you enough to believe that you can get them from where they are to where they should be. I'm sorry, I can't take so much time on that. You need to get them to believe about, you need to shape what they believe about themselves. You need to let them know that you have what I don't have. You have what I don't have. But until we bring what we have together, that's only when we can form an organization. See, when you hear the word organization, organization just simply means an organism. The organism have a head, usually the leader. The organism have a hand, have this. You see, the organism can, I'm an organism, right? I'm an organism. I have a hand. The fact that my right hand is my strongest hand does not mean that I should have two right hands. No, I have a right hand that is my best hand, but I have my left hand that is my balancing hand. So if you take the best and you ignore the balance, guess what? You can have the best right hand, but you'll never be stable in life. Oh, trust me. So you need to get people to believe that you have something that the team does not have. And until you bring in the best of you, the team cannot get the best of us. Have that in mind. So you shape what people believe about themselves. You need to shape what they believe about the people they are working with. You need to shape what you want the people to believe about the society they are working in. If you keep telling them that the society is corrupt, there is no way you can move them there. Tell them what you want to believe about the society. I tell people about our society. Our society is a godly society. Come on. Our society is a godly society. Our society, I live in Nigeria and I can tell you something about Nigeria. We are always optimistic. No matter what, I tell people about that. Nigerians are always optimistic. In fact, we have a slogan in Nigeria, ego better, no matter how bad it is. Guess what? That's why many people are not dying of depression. So shape the way, what you want them to believe about their society. I tell people Nigeria is blessed. Nigeria has everything that you can imagine. We have solid minerals, we have crude oil, we have the best of mines. Look at Nigerians everywhere. Come on, look at Fisher now in Canada. Just give her it's just a matter of 2 years, and then you hear everybody, even whoever is going to be prime minister of Canada, is going to start hearing there's this young lady from Nigeria. Of course, because Nigeria is blessed. So you shape the way people think about their society. My society is not bad. I don't know the one you belong to. My society is perfect. My society is beautiful. We have the best of leaders. I don't talk down on leadership. I don't talk down on the leaders in a nation, because you cannot aspire to a position that you are talking down. No. You can't want to lead a nation and then you are talking down the leadership. No. You see, whatever you talk about, whatever you think about, whatever you focus on, appreciate. If you focus on the weakness of your leaders, it appreciates. But I talk about their strength. Come on. It's tough right now, but Nigerian leaders have been, for once, we are taking the tough decision. They are not getting it right. But guess what? A step after the other, they will get it right. I do not talk down on the seat of the presidency because I'm hoping to sit there one day. I won't talk down the seat of any leadership role because I'm hoping to get there. If you talk down on it, you have sown a seed for your future. The same way you talk down on it, people will talk you down, and you won't be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Every time I see a leader talking down on their incumbent, I look, I'm saying someone who does not have what it takes to lead. No, I don't want to call some names, but you see, there are some great leaders in our world. Guess what? The way they rose into leadership was not by talking down on their predecessors. No, they rode on the fact that their predecessors have taken this nation to this point, and they are willing to build on it. There are things we need to adjust, yes, but not to talk down on the seat that you're aspiring to. And the final thing you need to shape people's belief about is their belief on divinity. The belief on divinity. You see, human effort is great. Let me say that again. Hey, people, hear me and hear me well. Human effort is great. But what makes your influence great is that simple touch of God. People, is that simple touch of God. Is that simple touch of God. What do you make people feel about God? Every time I see a leader that talks down on God, I see a leader that won't go far. What do you want people to feel about divinity? I can tell you, look at me. Hey guys, look at me. I can say this to you over and over again. There are times that pardon me in case you're not a Christian here. I'm sorry about this, but please just pardon me. Pardon me. in case you're not a Christian. But I'm telling you this about divinity. I'm telling you about whatever you believe in or whoever you believe in. But for me as a Christian, there are times I finish reading my Bible and I enter into a management meeting and I talk about management, and they sometimes ask me, where did you get your stuff from? You know, I have built some models in leadership, and you know, there was a day I went to make a presentation on one of my framework of leadership. I call it the AMF framework, administration, management, and leadership. And the guy was asking me, okay, so what are you referencing? I just smiled, and the guy, you know, he just smiled and left. Because the day I was done, I don't have a PhD yet, and I'm hoping to have one very soon. I'm really working at hard at it. You know, but years ago, I made a presentation in the heart of Boko Haram, you know, when Boko Haram was having their stuff. And when I was done, the guy was apologizing to me. He's like, oh, sorry, doctor, I really just. I'm like, doctor, sorry, that's me speaking. You know, the guy was like, the guy got very angry with me that I allowed him to introduce me without my PhD. At some point, I have to just keep quiet, you know, so that you don't embarrass him. But guess what? The mindset that you give to people about divinity will shape their thought about leadership. So, as a leader, shape how you want what you want people to believe about you. Be intentional about it. Be deliberate about it. Be deliberate about it. Number two, shape what you want them to believe about themselves. I tell people, this is who you are. You are better than this. You know, when I meet people and I spend time with them, I help them to appreciate what they have become as a result of their interaction with me. No, don't talk down people. Sometimes people say, oh, Pastor Joshua, sorry, Josh, you are a hype man. What do you want me to be? I'm a leader. A leader is I am a hype man. I don't talk people down. My job is to hype you until you be who you should be. I don't have business talking you down. No, I don't have business focusing on your weaknesses. Am I saying you don't have weakness? You do, for God's sake. But I'm saying the beauty of a human is in their strength. And my job as a leader is to bring out that strength in you. So you can't be a leader and not tell people about how good they are. Focus more on the good in them and focus less. After a while, guess what? They will lose that weakness and they will amplify their strength. Do you know why people's weaknesses are amplified? Because they are not able to leverage on their strength. Guess what? As soon as you get them to leverage on their strength, after a while, you will see that weakness will naturally fizzle out. Fizzle out. I've seen people who are tacit, who are talking today. When I look at them talking, I'm just smiling. Why? Because I trust you to talk. And when you don't talk it well, I still tell you, hey, you did it well today. You can do it better tomorrow. And then I push you forward. By the time you push them out 5 times, guess what? They get used to it. And then the best of them comes out. Get them to think about themselves that way. Your job is to shape what they believe about the society. If you keep telling them the society is corrupt, very soon there will be the corruption in your own leadership. Oh, because whatever you focus on is amplified. You tell them that everybody is corrupt, one day you'll be the leader, and they'll say, you are the corrupt one. So tell them what you want them to believe about the society. Our society is blessed. Come on. Come on. Our society is blessed. There is gold everywhere in Nigeria. My God, what are you saying? We are rich. It's only a matter of time. The world will come to Nigeria. The world will stand. See, Nigeria will take a place in the Committee of Nations. And guess what? It's only a matter of time. I am working at it. Faisal is working at it. You are working at it. Very soon, there won't be a corrupt leader in Nigeria. Why do you know that? I know that because of what we are doing today. We are imbuing in people the characteristics of great leaders. If they didn't have that education now, imagine what we are doing. Imagine what Dr. Fela Duto is doing. Imagine what Linus Okore is doing. Imagine what Dr. Sam is doing. Imagine what Faye is doing. And you tell me Nigeria is going to become the same thing? Never! Some of us have vowed and we are working at it. Tell them what you want them to believe about divinity. So right now, what I want to do in the next few minutes is to sit down and ask yourself, what do I want people to believe about me? What do I want them to believe about me? I want them to believe that I have what it takes to be able to move them from where they are to where they should be. I am strength. I am wired that way. Let me say that again. I am wired that way. There's something I used to tell people around me. There is no smallness in my DNA. There is no way you are connected to me that you'll be small. There is no smallness in us. The smallest among us is able to lead a nation. That's exactly what I want them to think about me. Then the next thing I want them to think about them is that the potential for greatness is already inside of them. They don't need to reach out to any other thing, but right inside of them is the potential. I saw someone told me that, oh, this guy lies a lot. And I'm like, wow. He said he lies without any provocation. I said, wow, give him to me. In that liar is a gospel preacher. In that liar is, he has not just found the right thing to say. If I teach him about leadership enough, he will become, if he's able to convince you with his lie, what if he now has the truth? I don't see the liar him. I see the talker him. I see the influential him. Guess what? I only give him some days. He's going to emerge. He's going to emerge. So write down 2 things you want people to believe about you. Write down 2 things you want people to believe about themselves. Everybody around you, what do you want them to believe about themselves? They are strong. Their weaknesses does not have the best of them. Write it down. Write down 2 things you want people to believe about their society. The society they are living in. Canada is not dry. Canada is blessed. Australia is not dry. Australia is the best place to be. Australia have the best set of leadership. Don't talk about the weakness of the place you are. Don't talk about the weakness of the place you are living in. Talk about the strength of the place you are living. What do you want people to believe about that place? Come on, where I live is blessed. My neighbors know. They know that because of me, the neighborhood is blessed. Why? I pray every morning. They hear me pray. I pray for them. I pray for their family. I pray for their children. I pray for so they can't fight me. Why? Because they know I'm a lot of covering over them. So what do you want people to believe about their society? And finally, write down 2 things you want them to believe about divinity, about God. I want people to believe that after you have done all you want, after you have known the best you've known how to do, when the supernatural comes on it, then it becomes amplified. If there's anything beautiful in the life of the people that you have seen here that you admire, it is because of the touch of the supernatural, the touch of the divine on them. Let people believe God is not wicked. God is the best thing that happened to humanity. God is the best thing that happened to me. I don't know what my life would have been today if I have this so much influence and I have not met God. It is the influence of God on my life that shaped this broken vessel into a masterpiece. And guess what? The world has not yet even seen the best of us. Oh, I don't want to sing this song, but I want to let you know that they have not even seen us coming. By the time we arrive, oh my God, by the time we arrive, oh my God, by the time we arrive, let me see it again. Oh my God. The students in primary school will be able to see. I'm not telling you what I don't know. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I've seen. I've seen the future, and I see that the future is brighter than this. Our children will crack the code of eternity. People will. Pardon me, I'm not trying to be a hype man right now, but guess what? Guess what? Nigerian children have one of the highest IQs in the world. You can't go through what Nigerian students go through and still will learn and will still understand. Hey, come. Let me ask you one question. How many Oyibo person can sing in Yoruba, can rap in Yoruba? Oh, they are not much. But guess what? A Hausa guy, a Yoruba guy will write songs and rap in English. They will sing it and the world will dance. But guess what? They don't know what we are doing. Oh, come and try us. We've produced Davido. We've produced Whiskey. We've produced Dunsin Oyekan. We are one more. So guess what? Guess what? Is that final touch of the divinity? Is that final touch of the divinity? And guess what? Because you are here today, you have been implicated. Smallness have been removed from your DNA. You have no other option. The world will hear of you. I'm saying it very loud and clear. I'm putting my integrity on stake, on ground. The world will hear of you. Okay, let me say it again. Okay, so Ayodele Josh, I'm saying it to you. Today, being the 10th day of November 2024, the world will hear of you. Okay, you don't get it. I'm saying it. The world will hear of you. You see, the world will hear of you and you ask yourself, how did I get here? It is because something has been unplugged in your life and something else have been put in there. The smallness in your DNA has been removed. Hey, you can't think small again. You can't think small again. Guess what? There's an intellectual property in you that all you need to do is to produce the prototype. China is waiting for you to mass produce. They are waiting for you. The next level of shoe is already unlocking in your mind. What we have won before. See, the fact that it is what we have always worn does not mean that it's what we will always wear. Somebody's going to build nanotechnology shoes. No, you're not hearing me. Somebody is going to build nanotechnology shoes. You can walk out today in black, and when you are going out tomorrow, you put it on and the thing goes blue. I'm saying it because it has already happened. Look at Black Panther, right? There's no smallest in you. Because you came here today, you've been implicated. Smallest have been removed from you. It has been deleted. Let me say, we have uninstalled smallness from you. Now we have upgraded. We have updated you because you connected. Now there's bigness inside of you. There's greatness inside of you. And it's been unlocked now. Please, if you can hear me, can you just close your eyes wherever you are? I'm rounding up now. I'm rounding up right now. But please, can you close your eyes and repeat after me? Say, smallness is dead. Say, the great me is arising. Say it loud. Say, the great me is arising. Oh, say it loud, please. Say, the great me is arising. Say, there is no smallness in my DNA. There is only greatness in my DNA. The world will hear of me. Can you say it louder? Say, the world will hear of me. Say, Africa will hear of me. That a light is shining. America will hear of me because I have become the light of the world. I have become the light of the world. I am a city on a hill. I cannot be hidden. Smallness is gone, and the big me is emerging. The world will hear of me. The world will hear of me. I will sit down in the board of UN. I will sit down in UN and will make. See, oh, I would have told you what will happen in the next 5 years. Hey, guess what? Peace will reign. People will turn atomic bombs. They will turn it. You see, we are afraid of atomic bomb. But guess what? We will use atomic bomb stuff for agriculture. That's what will happen. It has already been written, and it's our turn to make it happen. Good evening, everybody, and God bless you. You are a leader with influence. Shape the way people think. Shape the way people feel. Think. Shape the way people feel in order to be able to change the way they act. Aim for the mind. Aim for the mind. Aim for the mind.
Oh my God. This is you. God bless you. Thank you. Amen. 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 Smallness has been removed. Literally removed from me. I don't know about you, but smallness has been removed from me. You know, that trick where we tell ourselves, we have to play small first. We have to. The limiting belief. It has been uninstalled. It's a massive upgrade. Greatness. 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 I don't even know where to start. I know we have barely 2 minutes to wrap up. We've listened to so much, and it's okay if you don't have any questions. If anything, just sit with everything you've listened to today, but don't sit on it for too long. You need to take action, because for every time you listen and don't take action, you grow resistant. What this means is next time is harder to get through to you. And the crazy thing about the universe is it's a patient teacher. So if you are here to learn something, you learn it, not apply it. You keep circling till you learn it and apply it. So how about you learn it now and apply it now? So everything you've written down, do it. With who you said you're going to do, the course you're going to sign up for, see it through. Don't make excuses. This is why. For every excuse you make, there are 10 more you can also make. And if you're teaching your brain that you can make excuses, it will maximize making the excuses. Universe conspires to help you. You're about excuses, you will find more. If you're about results, you will find more. Where focus goes, energy flows. And remember, what we focus on is what we amplify. This is why I always tell Faye, whenever we're on a call, I don't like to complain. It's not like things are not happening, but things are also happening. Yes, things are happening, but things are also happening. And you will emerge. Your being here is not a mistake. Everything that has happened before, and it's not a mistake. The difference between you and every other person who come and say, we don't used to have light. We don't used to. We did not have light, but we're here. And if I can do this despite, then what can I not do? Show it to me. What is it that I cannot yet do? If you can dream it, you can be it. Thank you so much, Pastor Ayodele Josh. I was going to, when you said people are saying you're a hype man, I'm like, yeah, they're right. That's not what we need, though. Is that not what we need, though? We are always critical about ourselves. We think that it is a blessing that we come back and scrutinize. Oh, you're so terrible at this. You're so disorganized. But that is what you keep reminding yourself. So you walk into the room and you're thinking, I'm a disorganized person anyway, so I'll just be disorganized. I will just be disorganized. But like, no, I will organize. I will organize. You know, I heard something interesting one time. Somebody told me your brain does not understand negatives. So when you wake up in the morning and the thing you're saying is, I don't want to be late. I don't want to be late. Guess who's going to be late?
You.
Because what you could have been saying instead is, I will be early. So say what you want, not what you don't want. We're so good at saying what we don't want. A girl will tell you 10 things she doesn't like about a man, or what she's not looking for. I met this one. He's not this, he's not that. Okay, ask her, what do you want? What do you know? The beauty of knowing what you want is when you start a conversation with a person and you already know what you want, you know what you're looking out for in the conversation. But when you're looking for what you don't want, guess what you'll be getting? What you do not want. Thank you so much, Pastor Josh, Pastor Aledele Josh. This was, I don't know if I would have forgiven myself if I was not part of this meeting today. This is the one thing that will cause the multiplier effect for a lot of us who have been here and who will take action. Two people do not often have the same experience. Someone will listen and be like, yeah, this is great stuff, and then they just go back to their previous life. Another person will say, you know what? That smallness has been uninstalled. I will play big. I will play big. Remember, if leadership is the path you want to tow, there's no such thing as leadership and freedom in the same sentence. You cannot want freedom and leadership and freedom and leadership. Not. If anything, remember that you cannot want that. But yeah, thank you so much.
You're leading yourself. You have to have a set of principles that help you comply with who you want to be. Yeah, like there's a way I always feel anytime I hear Pastor Josh talk. I'm always fired from inside, and that's why I said, you know this thing. Nigeria is happening to your network, but we'll forgive you, Job.
It's my battery. My phone is about to die. But
I see. Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you again for reminding us, me particularly, that I'm not born for smallness. Never. You know, it's actually really hard. It's possible. It's not even a possibility. It happens when you leave your immediate environment and you go somewhere else and it looks like you're like, okay, I think I need to first understand how this thing works. Then you now cage yourself. But now I know better. I know that now is the time to take action. Now is the time to be what God wants me to be. And I cannot afford to remain small. And if there's anything I want everybody to take from this is also that you are not small. Like, you are not even, just like we were saying it yesterday, you're not a seed. You're not just a seed. There's a forest inside of you. There's a forest, a thick one inside of you, and you owe it to the ecosystem. You owe it to the ecosystem. If not, everything will be too hot for all of us. We'll be seeing the shege. So if you don't want to see the shege, please discover yourself, develop yourself, and begin to deploy.
Discover, begin to deploy. And you know, every part of you is very important. In fact, one of the very easy analogies he made, I have a right and a left hand, and a right hand is my best hand. But guess what? I do not have two right hands. So everything is important along the line of the journey. I'm not a good speaker. Don't worry. It's all important. Let us go. And how do you even know you're not a good speaker? Because sometimes we're so quick to just tell ourselves that, you know, this thing is not for me. That's it. How do you know?
Not a good writer.
How do you know, though? How do you know?
But you know that you always get angry, but you don't know that you're a good person. You know the negative things about yourself, but the positive one you don't know. You are not sure. People say that.
You know, one thing he said and just made a lot of sense to me. He said, the rich people believe that things are easy. And this is why you hear that this person has lost how many million. And we all make jokes and say, if it was me that lost 500 naira, my check would be doing. Because we have And guess what? Because we believe it, it becomes it.
Oof.
Anyway, we cannot get into breaking down, or everybody sit down with it. Let's not over it so that you miss the message that you got. Got the message that you got. Sit with it and take action. That's what is very, very important.
Yeah.
If you don't, you will grow resistant. So tomorrow you'll be harder. Maybe Fei's voice would have lost the magic for you. Ayodede's voice would have lost the magic for you. Our first speaker's voice, Dr. Sam, would have lost the magic for you. So take action now and, discover and deploy.
I really think that a few minutes is too small to unpack all of this. Look at how our speakers struggled. They struggled to stay within the time frame. And I know this and I understand it. But we'll be back. Definitely. Master classes, workshops, immersion sessions for young people. Again, like I said, I used to think that we all know these things. I used to think that we know it, but just like we were saying yesterday, we don't do it. Like, we don't do it as much. All right, we need to keep immersing ourselves into these things again and again and again and again and again. So we will be back, right? We will be back. We'll put these things in your faces, right? Until all of us become, we take on our role as essential actors in the transformation of the world. We are not giving up. Thank you so much again, Pastor. Thank you so much. You know that these words mean a lot to me, and I'm definitely going to run with it. Thank you so much, sir, and God bless you. Thank you to everybody that have joined us as well. You made MYE 2024 possible. I'm excited for it. I'm happy that it has happened. I want to say now I can sleep because the last 1 week, this last 1 week, I cannot believe I survived it. But yes, I'm done with the last task for the week, and I'm excited. I hope you had to. I hope you've gotten something. There was something that happened to me in October 2015, and that experience is what I've been trying to recreate for many people. I met Dr. Miles Muro, like I was sharing yesterday, in a profound way. How can an inanimate object be moving? It feels, I don't even know how to express it very well, but I know I saw this man smiling at me and he was telling me, look, there is a seed inside of you. You are a good seed. Aside that, you are a very thick forest. And that is it, right? For us to have more forest, we have a lot of work to do. We do have a lot of work to do. Please get at it. And as Job said, remember again that you need to begin to work on these things. It's the problem that we young people have. We learn these things. We attend conferences. We watch videos, take workshops. We take all the courses, and we don't act on them. And guess what? It's only your actions that are a vote for the person you're becoming, not the things that you think you want to do, not the things that you admire or aspire to do. It's actually the actions
Thanks,
that
you
become
actually.
a vote for the person you want to become or the person you see yourself becoming. So take actions today and now. I'm saying this to myself also. We keep growing. I don't want to get to the top and say it's lonely at the top. Nah, it has to be all of us. No. It has to be all of us. It has to be all of us. Like, there's a lot of problem in this world. I don't like it. You don't like it. We're seeing it happen. And the change can only happen when we decide to embrace our self-evolution. This is where we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Samuel Kundayo. Thank you, Pastor Ayodele Josh. Thank you, Job. Oh, thank you so much for holding the conversation yesterday and today. Thank you to the Selvolution team and the MYE team. Thank you to all of my friends. Like, these people knew that, this week, they don't know how Faye will survive it, but hi, Faye, are you good? Are you okay? So I'm doing a shout out to all of you. Thank you. Like, thank you. You made it easy for me to meet all my deadlines. You made it easy for me to even do it, right? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And to all our participants, Thank you as well. Thank you so much for making us know that we are doing something really beautiful and that we should continue to do it. God bless all of you. See you in 2025. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Once again.